Please enjoy this feature presentation of the Crooked River Radio Network. This program is rated for all audiences.
Four guys on sports. Four guys on sports. Four guys on sports starts now.
Well, good morning. And how are we
today? Good morning.
And how the hell are we today?
We're good here.
Yeah, we're not doing too bad either. I just been watching a lot of news trying to see what's going on with the old No Kings demonstration today. And doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on just yet. They're saying this is going to be the biggest protest in the history of in the American history. They're expecting like 26 million people to be doing something with that. That's a lot of people.
Wow. Mm-hmm. It is. Last I heard it was over 10 million. And I couldn't believe it. I talked to Nate yesterday, and we had a conversation about it. I guess it's basically it's against authoritarianism. Is my understanding.
Well, the American people.
Yes,
I'm just going to get political here for a second. The American people are fed up with what's going on down there in Washington, and a lot of those who voted for him wouldn't do it again because of what he's done. He's got federal workers out. He's fired most of them, and it's just pathetic. He would rather go fight and try to solve a war in Israel than take care of his own damn people. And that's just wrong. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's the way I look at it. It's just pathetic.
I feel the same way. Exactly the same way. My brother-in-law lives in Washington, Washington suburbs, and some of his work comes from government contracts. And since the government has been shut down, he's lost some money because of that. So he's upset too.
Well, I'll tell you what, the stuff that he says, we're not doing anything to Medicare. We're not doing anything to Medicaid. Nothing. No. And then in the next breath, the next thing you know, you're getting a phone call when you've got a doctor's appointment saying, and by the way, we're not sure your appointment's going to be covered. That's a first-hand account too. Mm-hmm. I had an appointment Wednesday a couple of weeks ago, and we took I answered the phone. The appointment was on Wednesday. I answered the phone Tuesday afternoon, and it was the doctor's office. And I said, I said, son, this must not be good. She says, hey, I need you to call this financial advocate. So I called and was told, since the government's out, we can't guarantee nothing. No payments are being guaranteed. So you're going to have to reschedule for after they open the government back up. Yeah, the guy, he's just flipping delusional is what I think. But
yeah, I think, because politics is one of the things that I try to steer clear of because, my views may not align with someone else's, and in that we get too bent out of shape over who we support. And I say that because we these, and I'm going to start with this. Has Trump ever been by to visit either one of you guys? The answer is no. Has Obama, Bush, Clinton, but politics in itself, I say that to say this, politics in itself is extremely divisive. And that's for the voting people. And so we get bent out of shape over who we support and, or who supports who. And in that, at the same time, now we've seen such extreme, I don't know what, it's just extreme, they call it unhinged. I call it craziness. So I'm going to say it now. I've been trying not to say that, but they call it unhinged. Let's call it as it is. This crap is crazy. It is. It is. It's crazy. It's stuff we've never seen. We're talking about now where if you don't agree with me, I'm going to use the military. I'm going to turn the military loose on you. I'm going to lock you up because you don't agree. I'm only going to allow certain political or certain media, in my circle, because they're going to report it the way I want them to report it, So it's gotten to a point of this is just crazy. And my only hope is that people show up in droves in midterm and do.
You're going to see that. There ain't no doubt in my mind, especially with what he's done to all these federal workers. That was his bread and butter back then, back at the last election, and I'll bet you he's lost 80% of that now. And that flipping Caroline, Levitt or whatever, and I saw this one clip that was talking about Trump the Republicans shutting down the government, and damn well that's what's happened. Because I had on the show we did last week, I had a clip that was talking about her or who shut down the government and who wants to reopen it. Well, that one of the congressmen got on there and he says, you guys keep accusing us of shutting this down, but we've been here every day since it started, and we've reached out to you and tried to get you to talk, and you'd rather be off other places. You'd rather be on vacation. I don't know. It's a screwed up world.
It is. And, so with all that, I mean, we could go on and on about politics, and I just choose not to go there. It doesn't even make me feel good to talk about it, So at this point, again, the only thing I can do is encourage voters to get out and vote. And during midterm, because as of now, and that's the reason why, if you look at how they've gerrymandered, and I have to say kudos to Newsom and the governor of Illinois as well. These guys say, okay, you want to gerrymander things, we will too. And keep in mind, and I'm going to say this and I'll get off of it, the Dems they tried to bring a bill back, way back, years ago, as far as to cancel out this gerrymandering, because they don't want the popular vote to count. They want to be able to, because like Texas now is red, but when you look at it, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston,
all big
Austin,
money towns.
San Antonio, all the metropolitan areas are all Democrat. They really are. But you have no representation there because it's gerrymandered so to where, and they had stopped one because they said, no, this one isn't fair. And they went to court over it, but they've gone back and even done it more so. And so it just goes to show you that they know that they cannot win without gerrymandering. So now, when California did it, I saw, what's his name, Mike Johnson or whatever, he says, okay, you guys are talking about us, now you're doing it. And it's like, what the? You know, we used to sit back and say how unfair it is. No. You know, I'm a little bit different guy than my brother. My brother is about, hey, look, let's do it by the rules. You know, I couldn't get out there in a King's protest because I'm not that dude. If we had a peaceful protest and I'm not Martin Luther King, if somebody will haul off and hit me in the face, man, hey, I'm swinging back. You know, I'm a little bit different. I'm not a violent guy, so therefore I stay away from confrontation because if I'm going to give you the same energy you give me. So with that, I'm going to get off of that. I'm going to get off politics and stay away from it.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing I'll add to that at all is anybody that watches anything that we do, we're here for the fun of it. There's no politics involved or anything like that. I won't normally talk politics on any show but the one we do every other Monday night, because that's, you know, it could destroy my listenership, because if you have 10 people and 5 of them don't like what you're saying, you just lost half your audience. So
Absolutely.
And, you know, the stuff that we say here is a lot of times done in jest. But, you know, the whole thing comes down to this world is crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
It is. And, you know, I pray that we don't go to a authoritarian regime, you know. That's my prayer, you know. But beyond that, man, please, let's move on to something like sports.
Like this?
Yeah, after Thursday. I thought they were going to have that one nailed down. Boy, for a team that supposedly has it all together, they looked a step slow. They just looked a step slow on Thursday. I mean, it's just, I haven't seen that for a while.
Yeah, we might as well start off with the Browns and Pittsburgh stuff. As far as what I watched, I've watched the last game that Flacco played, and I watched the one last week where Cleveland got beat because they haven't learned how to win yet. But when it comes down to it, you know, I mean, Pittsburgh has got Aaron Rodgers. Big whoop. Aaron Rodgers is what, 41 or 42 now? He's getting old. And that's the same way with Flacco. You know, I keep hearing this, oh, we should have never gave Flacco away. Yeah, you should. You want to win. That guy looks like he's on a slow boat to China. He really does, and it just gets me. This crap with all of this, all this make-believe stuff with and some of the memes I've seen on Facebook and the social media, you just got to sit there and go, wow. Oh, we should have never gave Baker up. Oh, we should have. You traded Flacco, and look what he did for Cincinnati. I mean, we're gonna pick it up. We'll probably win this next game, hopefully, and then after that, we'll see what happens. You know, this is going to be a building year for them, and that's all there is to it. Like we haven't been through them to begin with for quite some time. Let's just put it that way.
This is what astonishes me about our division. Now, Pat and I cheer for the Browns, as you know, Gordon. They're all in the AFC North. It's otherwise known as the AFC's version of the black and blue. You know, you've heard of the Bears and the Lions and Vikings and who am I missing there? Bears, Vikings, Lions, and anyway. It is very hard to win in the AFC North to begin with. And the problem that the Browns have had since they were reborn in 1999 is they still haven't figured out a way to build a winning culture, because whenever we see the Ravens play, or we see the Steelers play, or we see the Bengals play, they always seem to have their acts together, you know, even though it's not always that. But when they go out onto the field to play, you know, we Browns fans look at that and say, why is this so hard? I mean, the other three teams are competitive all the time. You know, they're always making the playoffs. You know, they actually make the Super Bowl, and occasionally they win a Super Bowl. So we ask ourselves as Browns fans, why can't we do that? I mean, how hard can it be?
That's about it. So I think. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. There's the let's see. AFC North is Cleveland, Chicago.
Nope. That's the other conference. Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I went the wrong way. Yeah, Cleveland, Cincinnati,
the Ravens,
Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. Yeah. Now, okay, well, yeah, you got a good argument there, because, yeah, that could be tough to win. Unlike the where the Dallas Cowboys are in the NFC least, East. I get it mixed up. Least, East. Yeah. But Philly managed to come out of there, and they've had a couple here in the last, 8 years? 9 years, whatever it was. Anyway, and I say that I'll look at Cleveland, and yeah, you guys are in a tough division, really are. So I get that. But again, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. And you see glances. That's the hard part about Cleveland, Dallas. You see glances. You see glimpses of man, this, you know, it could be, but and Dallas, which most of the time NFC East is up for grabs anyway, but when I look at them, and I see two franchises that just screams dysfunction somewhere in there. And I don't get it. I think with Dallas, they say it's Jerry, and it could be. A lot of it is Jerry, because the way he does contracts, you know, Dak getting paid what he's gotten paid. If he had signed contract with him earlier, his pay would be a lot less. Now, mind you, Dak has been playing very good football. Is he the best quarterback in the NFL? No. But he's a good one. Mm-hmm. But with Cleveland, I don't understand it. I don't understand. I see, like I say, I see the glimpses, and they talk about the Bakers and all that. And let's face it, we said it the other week. Baker he grew up a lot. He was not ready for the stage when he initially got here. You know, one of the things is that as a quarterback, was he a leader of men when he came into Cleveland? No, not even close. You know, and you could see he had a lot of the skills, but it was him. And he's since talked about that, and he's admitted to it. You know, hey, look, as a person, as a man, well, you know, now seeing that, and then to hear them say Flacco, we shouldn't have got rid of Flacco, which I think is ridiculous. I've never been a Joe Flacco fan. When he won championships in Baltimore, they won that because of that defense. Now, I don't know if anybody wants to argue me on that, but that's what I'm standing on. So, yeah, it was time for him to go. And so with the Browns, the upsetting point is this. As always, we're rebuilding.
Well,
How long have we going to rebuild?
well, let me counter what you said there, or add a little knowledge to that. This season, I don't care about the Baker era. I don't care about the Flacco era. This season is either won or lost by the head coach. Yeah, and you could say, oh, yeah, he's a head. Well, the whole thing comes down to he's doing the play calling. And his play calling stinks. I said it last week. I said it at the beginning of the season. I've said this for 2 or 3 years now. He needs to give the damn play calling back to the person who needs to do it. You know, the whole thing comes down to, you know, he might want to ambitiously do it all, but he's no good. And until you get decent play calling, which I actually saw, that game I think was a couple of weeks ago that we played, like the Vikings or somebody.
Yeah, the one in England.
Yeah,
that one.
They could have won that game had the play calling been different. I sat watching that thing, and I'm like, you got to be shitting kidding me. You got third and 14, and you try to run it up the gut. Run up the gut doesn't work in college. And it sure doesn't work with any team that's halfway decent in this league. The whole thing comes down to, you have to be good from the top down, and they're not. They need to dump Barry. I've said that before. They need to dump that idiot DePodesta. I've said that before, and I'm afraid to say this because it's going to happen. They need to dump Kevin. They need to dump Stefanski because of your crap at the top, and crap falls down. It's like trickle-down economics from back in the Reagan days. Oh, well, I'm rich up here, and we're going to spend some money, so you'll be able to take and you'll be able to make a you're going to get your money before it's over. Well, when it's over, you ain't any better off now than you were then. It just this team just baffles me.
A lot of us are feeling the same way.
And hopefully we're going to take and actually see something decent. When it's going to come out, if they keep Stefanski and give him give him a play caller and say, "You're either going to do this or you're gone." But from the rumor I heard a couple of weeks ago, he was told that if you lose one more game, you're done. And we got a 1-5 record, and whoever we're playing this week is 1-5 too.
Yeah, Dolphins.
Yeah.
We have the Dolphins.
Wow, man. That's tough. I had never been a proponent of firing a coach during the season.
new place that's going to be harder for people to reach, for one thing.
That looks pretty cool.
You know, the thing of it is this, and there was a little bit of resistance to that, but what was supposed and so hence they wound up with at Arlington, and it's a really nice place, really nice.
On the site of the old municipal stadium where all the major teams played. The then Indians, which are called the Guardians, and the Browns, and you would have outdoor events like concerts, that sort of thing. And it was all held at Municipal Stadium, which was built in the 30s, and it was just long overdue to be torn down and redone. And when the Browns were yanked away and taken to Baltimore to become the Ravens, there was this great rush to build a new stadium on the spot of Old Muni. So obviously, and it took close to 3 years to. The legislature passed a law that limits the ability of a team to leave the city. Now, the idea was to keep the Browns from leaving again, and in this case, what happened was the legislature changed the law slightly that was passed just after the Browns left the first time to say, oh, they're not leaving the state of Ohio, so therefore they are not leaving. What's happening here is this dome stadium is going to be built in Brook Park, which is a southern suburb of Cleveland. It's actually where Hopkins International Airport is. I know because I drive there on a fairly regular basis, to handle flights. But there's an old Ford factory that was on this site, and it's massive. And there's going to be a dome stadium built, and apparently the final nail in the coffin has just happened. The mayor just said, all right, you win, but I want some money out of this. I want $100 million for development of that old site, and I want the ability for people to cross the highway to be able to access Lake Erie. And Lake Erie is obviously a great natural. About that switch because that was the most recent one I could think of about a team moving, not leaving the area, but moving from a place that they were known for to right. Something else. So I figured I'd ask somebody, especially somebody who lives in the Metroplex.
Yeah, funny you say that because now we're faced with another one. The Dallas Mavericks. They're wanting to build a new stadium. The new owners are casino owners. Mm-hmm. And they're wanting to build a new one. They actually really want a gambling casino / arena is what they want. Sure. And the Dallas Mavericks, they're in downtown Dallas, but now they're talking about moving. Mm-hmm. And so with that, I would like for... it would be cool to, when these teams, you want Cleveland to stay in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Or, you want your teams to stay there. Like the Dallas Cowboys, I would love for them to have been over there by Fair Park. I think that would have been a really great thing for the area and everything, because what happened over in Arlington is they are right near, there's the Six Flags, there is the Texas Rangers, and then there's Jerry World. And so you're talking, although they had to invest in the infrastructure, but still, it can be a nightmare over there at times. Mm-hmm. And these stadiums they tend to be money makers. They really do, at least for the team, for the owner. Not necessarily
for everybody else, but for the owners, for sure.
I think I want to say that parking may even be, it might be $100 to park out there. Hmm. I know it's got to be $70, $80. That's not exaggerating. Which, come on, man, it sounds ridiculous, So, wherefore, I don't go to games. for that reason. You know, I'm gonna pay $100 to park, and then, you know, 100 plus for tickets. Nah, not me. You know,
And I'll mind if I stop you for a second. There is no bus line there. There is no subway system. No real connection other than you drive out there, right?
right,
Uh-huh.
right. The mass transit is better now, but you know, I mean, you could Dallas and Cleveland together aren't as big. I mean, Cleveland and Akron together aren't as big as Dallas, but it's gotten better. But realistically, for a big city, our transit system is not very good.
All right, I'm done playing around now.
Are we going to finally do some picks here? I thought that was part of the reason we were
Yeah,
on.
we got about another 5 minutes for that.
Okay.
We're at 42. So I figure we can pick that up a little bit. They, as far as the Browns and that goes, I had something else I wanted to say about the quarterbacking. But, you know, there again, that falls on the coaching and Andrew Berry. And I would rather see DePodesta and Berry leave first before we start blaming Kevin with anything. Because I do think Kevin's a good coach. He just needs to be he needs to be told a couple things, and that's the way that gets straightened out. Let's actually talk about a winner again. As far as OSU, do you think they're going to go lossless for the rest of the year?
You know, for me, my opinion, I need to look at their schedule again. But as of right now, I mean, these are what Texas was supposed to be their test, and they manhandled Texas. And Texas has fallen, I think they're 23rd, 24th now, or something like that.
Yeah.
But so far, let's be honest, we've had our Buckeyes have had a pretty cupcake schedule, so to speak. You know, they've had it easy so far. I'm gonna have to look at their schedule again, but right now, I mean, they're steamrolling it, and right now they look good. They look very good, and the talk now is Jeremiah Smith. Man, he is. He's. I think he's NFL ready now. He's amazing. You know. So, but I want to see what happens with them. Like say, I don't think Wisconsin is a very worthy opponent. But the thing I can say about it is they look like they're really taking care of business. These games that they should win. Doesn't look like they're playing. They going out there and doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. I hope that. I just hope they don't get shocked by something. And number one team and all that. It kind of surprises me that they are up there. But that quarterback they got, he's got a hell of an arm on him.
He's good. He's good. They have a good quarterback. They just kind of retooled, you know, after last year. And again, I can't help but say, you know, even if they do lose, how you lose and what happens after you lose. Because if they had not lost to Michigan last year, I don't think they would have won the national championship.
Yeah.
Sometimes a good old-fashioned Ass whooping is what you need.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's. I guess we're at 45. We can go ahead and do some predicting, and we can see what happens with that. You want to dig the. You want to dig up the things for this week.
Well, kind of tough for me today because I'm actually operating off my phone. I'm gonna have to get another laptop.
Any idea what? The web address is? If you can give me a web address, I can bring it up on Google, and we can all see it on here.
See if I can find that. Let's see.
I'll show you guys another little trick I added here.
Let's see. Let's see. Go schedule this week, I think it is. Let's see here. See if I can. Actually, I got it here. Oh, no. That's weeks. What are we? Week 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can.
I'm trying. While you're doing that, I'm going to try to do something here.
Because I just go to, I think I go to NFL.com, which is not coming up. There's some reason here.
You have Mevin?
You have it?
Yeah, I've opened it up here. I think there are 10 games because there obviously some teams have a bye this week, but I think that there are 10 more games besides the Thursday night that just happened here.
There should be a total of 14.
Okay, let's see here. I see 10 so far. Now maybe I just need to go.
But sometimes you.
Here it is.
All right, it's week 7 of 18.
There's an early one tomorrow. Then the others are either 1 o'clocks, 4 o'clocks, or 4:25s. There's the late game. I'm just looking for the rest of these here.
All right, I think we can go by what's on here. Isn't this slick?
Okay.
Isn't that slick?
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good.
I like that, Pat.
Another little toy I put on here.
Okay. Let's take a look here. You said 14 this week? There are 14 cheers? Okay.
Dude.
All right, I got to see if I can get back to here now.
Yeah, those are preseason games right there. So.
What happened to my camera?
All right, that's not what I want. September 10th.
Okay, here it is. NFL.com/schedules. That's the place to go. I'll give us all of week 7.
All right, let me relocate it then. I can do that. All right, let's close that up. NFL. What was it again? NFL.
NFL.com and /schedules, and it should give you week 7 right away. That's what I'm looking at right now. So,
Yeah, there we go. Good God, it's the 20th already.
Sure.
Week 7, we have Pittsburgh got beat by Cincinnati. I'm proud of that.
Those are still underwater, though. Like the Browns,
All right,
Ravens.
we have Los Angeles versus Jacksonville. I think that's the first one.
Yeah, that's the game in Germany, I think.
Yeah, I think so. We're going to give Jacksonville a go-ahead.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, they looked really good against the Chiefs when they hosted them a couple of weeks ago. I think that they're probably one of the teams on the rise. So yeah, I'd say let's give Jacksonville a nod here.
I don't know. I always said West Coast versus East Coast. And you couldn't get much further out for either one.
Yeah. Since they're not playing at home, either one of them, for this one.
I'd almost have to take the Raiders. I like. I watched a little bit of Jacksonville, but I don't think they're a mediocre team.
Yeah. Well, you think their record right now is a mirage? I'm just curious to hear what you feel about that.
I don't know if I'd call it a mirage.
I'm taking Jacksonville.
I'll take the Raiders.
Yeah, right. Well, you mean Rams? Rams. They're playing the Rams in Germany.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Next one.
Now let's go to New Orleans and Chicago.
Well, I've told you guys how much I love New Orleans, but this team they've gone back to being the Aints. Give me the Bears.
Yeah, I take the Bears with that one, and I know why you kind of lean toward the Saints, a little bit, but down here,
yeah,
the fans here, oh God. So yeah, but no, I gotta go with Chicago on that one.
They're hosting for one thing.
All right, now the next up is Miami and Cleveland.
This is sad, man.
Yeah, it sure is. Good grief.
Where are they playing at?
They're playing Cleveland.
I'm taking Cleveland.
Yeah, so will I.
Cleveland is actually, from what I read, Cleveland is actually favored by 3 points.
Okay.
And then you know that the only reason they're getting the 3 points is because they're actually playing in Cleveland.
Yeah,
that's it.
They have got to do something with this mess. And if this game, from one thing I read a while back, is the loser of this, whatever loser we have out of this game will probably not have a job after that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see what happens with it. God, I hate to bet against the Browns. I guess I'll take them anyway. I do think it'll be within 3 points. Neither team's any good. All right, now we got Las Vegas at KC, and it's
You know, where's it at?
at Can it's at um, what do you call it?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Brain freeze.
I'm taking KC, and I'm gonna say this. One thing to say about KC so far this year, the defense has been great, and I think they're starting to get healthy offensively. So I'm gonna take KC, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be by more than 3. Yeah.
I'll second that. I'll second that. I'll say a touchdown in favor of the Chiefs. You know that maybe just that one night that the Chiefs went to play the Jags, you know, in Jacksonville, was just a magical night for that team. And the Chiefs, you know, they pull their acts together and they start playing like they've been doing, you know, through their Super Bowl runs, and ultimately they win. So I'm going to give the Chiefs the nod here.
Well, I guess I'll take the Swifties.
I hadn't heard that.
Oh, no. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Taylor Swift is gonna have to play a pretty good game. All right. Well,
You didn't go there.
yeah, I did. You're laughing at it.
He's originally he's from up here. He's from Cleveland Heights, and his brother Travis, who played for the next team we're going to review, he was on that squad. They actually played each other for a Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take the Swifties. That is pretty funny. I'll be here all week. All right, we got Philadelphia at Minnesota. I pretty much got to go with my Philadelphia.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe they're turning this around. They hadn't looked good.
Ivan Luzzer lived in Philadelphia, so they'd give me grief if I didn't pick the Eagles here. But I agree. I agree with Gordon. I think that the Eagles are starting to pull their offense together. So I'm giving the Eagles.
All right, that's all of.
It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah, this is 1 o'clock too. We got Carolina at the Jets.
Now, if there's one team that we could honestly say that has been worse than the Browns in recent years, I'd say the Jets are in contention for that. So, another circumstance, give me the Panthers. I'll take the Panthers. Panthers are looking a lot better these days.
Yes, they are. They are. You know, we saw what they did this past week. I definitely take the Panthers.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take them too. I think it's flip a coin as far as who's going to win because they're about that even talent-wise. All right, next we got New England and at Tennessee. Boy, that's a good one. That's a hard question there. I
have to admit, Mike Vrabel's done a really good job taking the Patriots and making something with them so far. So I think that they're going to have the edge. They're visiting. I'm going to go with the Patriots on this one.
What do you think, Gordon?
Evan, you talk me into it. I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
I just don't see a lot happening with the Titans right now. I really don't. I mean, Steve McNair is long gone. Those glory days, of just needing an extra yard to win the Super Bowl. No, these Titans don't measure up. So Patriots for me here.
Yeah, that'll work. I think I'll take the Patriots too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next is the Giants at Denver. I think Denver is kind of a surprise team. They've been on that the last couple of years. And
because Denver's supposed to be, they were supposed to be a good team this year. I'm gonna go with Denver because I think they're gonna get it right.
I agree with Gordon. I like what they're doing there. The Giants do look better, but they're still not ready for prime time. Give me the Bengals or Broncos here.
yeah, I think I'll take Denver too, just because they're full of surprises.
Good way.
All right, we have the Indiana against LAC.
Tough one. Tough one.
I'm taking LA, man.
LA too. This is a really tough one for me because I like what the Colts have been doing here lately. I mean, they've all but revived Daniel Jones' career. I mean, we were just talking about Giants. That's where he came from, and he just flatlined while he was there, and they are on a good run. Again, I think you're right, Gordon. I'll take LA mainly because they're at home. They're at home. Jim Harbaugh has proven himself to be a pretty good coach, but mainly home field. That's where I'm taking this.
I guess I'm going to have to take because it's my West Coast theory. I'll take the Chargers. All right, next up is Green Bay at Arizona.
I'm taking Green Bay.
Same Cardinals. Just something is not right with them right now. I mean, Kyler Murray has all kinds of talent, but there's just something missing with the Cardinals. So yeah, give me the Packers.
Yeah, I guess I'll take the Packers too. And we have Washington. Oh, Washington at Dallas.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get out there? Who's gonna get out there crying foul for that game?
I'm gonna roll with the Cowboys this week, man.
Mm-hmm.
Washington, they hadn't been healthy. They hadn't played well, and I was expecting more of them this year, initially. And I guess with Dallas, with me, I'm probably doing this more as a fan. It's keep hope alive, brothers. Because, and I say this, with us getting Pickens, man, that dude has been balling. And Dak has played well. With Pickens there, Dallas has been able to run the ball a little bit more this year because they were horrible running the ball last year. But the other flip side of that is they can't stop anybody. I think you, Pat, you, me, Evan, we get my brother out there, and I think we could score on them. They don't stop anybody.
That's tough.
And then now, and I'll say this: I think Diggs is out this week, which he wasn't doing much this year anyway. But Diggs is out this week as well. But I'm still going to go with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, good. Good.
I think I'll go with the Cowboys too, just because of you, Gordon.
Well, I don't have a Dallas bias, so I'm trying to be rational. Can you go with Commanders again? I have my sister and her family. They live in Greater DC, so they've adopted the region, and Jaden Daniels is playing a little bit better. You're right; they've not been quite as sharp as they were last year. But I'm going with Commanders just because they just seem to have a little bit of mojo. When the Cowboys go on a 10-game winning streak, then I'll start picking them.
I hear you. I think this is more me being a fan, but I've been. I hadn't been disappointed with their offense this year. Mm-hmm. It's just the defense it's horrendous. It really is, and that's what scares me is that they could go out and score 30 points every week and still lose. That's not good.
Well, at least they're scoring 30 points. There's a certain team that we talked about earlier that can't hit over 13.
Yeah, they're lucky. Yeah, I mean, a team where you have second and goal from the 3-yard line. What are you doing? You're throwing the ball, and you have a really good running back who could probably shove it in. Okay, yeah, seriously.
And there is my point. About the coaching.
Yep.
Any other coach would have seen that.
Yep.
And known what they have there, because they were actually pushing them all over the place, and for them to go out with 3 different pass plays was ridiculous. But
okay, enough of our belly aching. Let's put the next one here.
There we go with our armchair quarterbacking.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we have Atlanta at San Francisco. I will take San Francisco on this one, no doubt.
Man, they hadn't looked that well, though. And
they did this last week. I watched part of the game. But as far as, I don't really think Atlanta's got much going for them.
I kind of want to agree with you. And they're playing there in San Francisco. I guess I'll take San Francisco.
I'm going to do the same, although I've seen Atlanta playing here the last couple of times. You know, you have like some bonus coverage when our local games are over, and they've looked pretty sharp. You know, I'd say, you know, if they're playing at home, they probably would. I would probably give them none, but you know, since they're on the West Coast, yeah, West Coast, the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Coast, East Coast. Next up is Tampa Bay. Baker at Detroit.
You know, I'm gonna do this in honor of my brother. I'm going with Tampa Bay because I know he's such a Baker fan.
We'll make sure he knows that. I'll have to text him and say, "Hey Nate, you ought to hear what your brother did."
I love it. I love it. I mean, the fact that, oh God, he couldn't stand Baker before he even got here, but before he got to Cleveland, but understandably so. You know, he was still, you know, he did plant the flag there in Columbus. But so he's never been a Baker fan. But it just anytime I can just kind of get that little dig in him with Baker. I can't help myself.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Pat's kind of still a little angry at Baker himself.
Okay, so in order to relieve the pressure here, I'm just going to go with the Lions because they're hosting, and that's the only reason why.
yeah, I think I'm going to take Detroit too because they look like they did a couple of years ago, and that's when they made it into the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, and Campbell's did a good job with them. But he gets a little bit too emotional at times, and he makes some bonehead decisions too. Uh, so that's one of the reasons why they made it out. But Tampa Bay has, I mean, they put some good pieces around Baker too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tampa's a Jet.
it don't matter. He's still Baker.
He's gonna make a play that you'll regret.
Yep, he's been known to do it before. All right, next up is Houston at Seattle.
Going with the Seahawks.
Man,
The Texans this year are, man. What happened to them? You know, they
I know,
had
right?
Chase Brown. They tore us up in the playoffs a couple of years ago. You know, that's what amazes me. I mean, they were just flinging the ball all over the place, and all of a sudden that has just vanished. And so, you know, they're playing Seattle, which is very loud. They're playing very well in the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think I'll take Seahawks too.
Seahawks on that one.
I think that's everything, isn't it? Yeah.
Let's see. Yep, that's it.
Oh, well. Oh.
We'll have to see what happens here. Okay, we can close that up and move over to here. Yeah, there you are. What did you think of that little Google thing I put in here? That was pretty slick.
Yeah.
I've got, I built in some new toys into this thing. I can actually give something a 3D look and everything like that. Pretty sweet. Anyway, enough of breaking my own arm, patting myself on the back. Anything else we need to discuss?
A lot of ground.
I would say we
Can't
talked.
think of anything. I know basketball is starting up this month, so we'll have that to talk about as well.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess we can pretty much wrap her up if you guys want to. We've got an hour and 15 minutes in a can. So that's cool. Just as our usual, letting everybody know what's going on. Tomorrow evening, we've got Radioactive coming up. It'd be kind of tough to beat last week as far as the way that show went. We had.
Those were good folks. I hope you're able to keep in touch with them and have them come in.
Yeah, she's already, from what I understand, been in contact with Christy. So we'll see what happens with that. When I'm gonna stay in contact with them. I'll probably try to do it about once a year, just to see where they're at. But tomorrow night we got Radioactive coming up, and then Monday we have at 8:00 we'll be doing a ham radio show, which is Elmer's World. I haven't really decided what the topics are going to be for the next one, but I want to try to add a couple of incentives for people to watch I'd kind of like to do some sort of a trivia question or something like that, and see if anybody can answer it. We do this on the amateur radio nets that we do, and it'll actually bring people in. So we'll try that, and then next Saturday we'll be back here. And I thank both of you for coming in today. I will we'll figure out what's going on next week when it gets here. Evan, if you want to pretty much just plan a little bit here and there, you're welcome in here.
Okay, thanks.
And just let me know if you're not going to make it.
Okay, I'll do that. I just have to remember to keep the hours in between, open, so I can do that. But, yeah,
I had contacted Serge, and he was at the rally, and he said there was a ton of people there. So, but we won't go into any of that anymore. And I think we can go ahead and wrap her up. You want to know why we got to wrap it up?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
that got off, but that's all right.
And if I won't lie or I'll just sit here and have to lie because
You can't handle the truth.
God, I love sound effects. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this evening or morning or whatever the hell it is. I got to go out and mow some lawn. I think.
Too.
So we will catch everybody. Gordon, have a safe week. And
You guys do the same.
tell your sister I said hello. And we'll go ahead and wrap her up. So as soon as I can find the wrap up music here. Y'all have a good week and 73.